Rick, two things. One, what'd you think of the way your team closed out this game? And then two, did you see any sort of benefit from having that extra practice time, considering the loss of practice time earlier in the year?
Well, the thing that happened with practice when we got back on Tuesday, we did come in and we actually, considering that we had bust 3 hours back, we had a good practice. It was good, and I thought our guys were excited about it. I'd actually made a comment, I wish we would have gotten to play because I thought we really had a good bounce that day to us, and Wednesday was our day off. We came back Thursday and, again, had a good practice. John Fulkerson had missed all that because of having his wisdom teeth taken out, and I thought it really allowed Olivier and EJ and then Uros ends up turning his ankle during that time. But it allowed us to play with that smaller lineup a little bit more. And I thought that part of it was really good. We came back yesterday, Vince, to be honest with you, we didn't have a great practice. And I told Folky, we're not going to get bogged down trying to throw the ball in there, force the ball in there. He's going to have to pick up the speed that we want to play with. And I thought today he did a pretty good job with that. He got winded. There's no doubt he was winded because he only had because yesterday, we didn't obviously have a long workout being the day before the game. And our guys, I thought we closed the game out well. They're a really hard team to guard because Coach Stackhouse does a great job. He does a great job of what he wants to run. He sees how you're going to guard it. Then he starts tweaking it and doing those type things where he's trying to make he's making those adjustments. And we knew that we had to really do a good job on Scottie Pippen Jr. The first half, I thought we did a nice job. Second half, not so much. And he did. We talked about at halftime. He was going to come out and continue to get even more aggressive. But overall, and we felt like we had a couple of defensive breakdowns where we were trying to go for home run plays as opposed to staying solid and stand on the ground and going to try to get steals and giving them kick out threes. But overall, we knew it was going to be a hard-fought game, and it was.
I think Ben may be frozen. Let's go to Wes, then Rob Lewis.
It's like everybody's frozen.
Hey, Rick, I know that, that this is a game that, means a lot to you, the history of it. And I think you're now tied for 20th all time in wins with Fog Allen and with Don Haskins. What's that mean to you, and how much longer do you want to keep doing this?
You know what? Honestly, I don't think about it. I don't. I love what I do. I really do. And all that means I've had a lot of good players. I'm going to tell you that. And some great players, obviously, and great coaches with me, and been at some great universities where they've allowed us to build the kind of program that we want to build. But when those things happen, it's a compliment to everyone. But I love what I do, and if I ever get where I don't enjoy practice, I know it's time to step away from it. But I truly look forward to coming to practice every day. I love it. I love the game of basketball. I love the fact I get to learn something new every day, and I love the way the game continues to change and see if we can keep up with it and do the things that we need to do. And I love watching players get better as a group. That's something that we take pride in with our staff. But it's fun to. Again, I've been blessed. I thank the good Lord for the opportunities He's given me at so many different places, working with so many different wonderful people, and I've had some terrific bosses.
Coach, looked like in the second half especially, you went more with that small ball lineup than maybe you have at any point this season. Are you liking what you're getting from that, or is that more a reflection of just the matchup with Vanderbilt?
No, we like it, and sometimes you do it, and sometimes teams will match you that way, and it goes back. We've got to get more production out of EJ and Olivier. We put them both in, and we had some momentum. And to be quite frank, that's Olivier gave up 3 offensive rebounds, and EJ had some chance to score some baskets and miss free throws. And those guys, we love them, and we think they got a great future ahead of them. But we need them to be productive right now, and we just need them to do a couple of different things right there. But if that's not working, we do have the versatility to play small. And we knew we were going to do that at some point in time anyway. And it's a long way to go between now and the end of the year. And I think you'll see us continue to, whatever the game calls for, we'll go that way.
Grant Ramey and Mike Wilson.
How much different is this team when VJ's hitting the shots he made tonight, and I guess is that contagious when he starts making shots? It seems like others start making shots.
Well, I think you need a player like VJ that can do that, and we watch him do it. You know, he does it in practice. You know, I will tell you this: VJ, Keon, and Jaden. Most of the time, when we're watching minutes, but we want to stay fresh. We really think that we can wear some people down, and we watch their minutes, Santi included. But most of those guys, we're more concerned about them defensively because when they get winded, that's where they break down first, and then they sometimes get lost a little bit on the offensive end. That's what's exciting to us, that we think we can get so much better the more consistent those guys can get. But VJ is a guy that prior to the season started, he was shooting 45% from the three-point line. So we watched him do it. And for the most part, when he takes good shots, we think it's going in because we see it happen a lot. And we need that. There's no doubt we need that from him. And but overall, I would tell you, I think we all can. It's just consistency on the offensive end. But we got to get better.
Rick, what was kind of your plan and hope in defending Scottie Pippen Jr. tonight? And then why was Olivier the choice for the first forward off the bench tonight?
Well, our plan, I mean, you look at Scottie Pippen Jr., I think, again, they've got to feel wonderful as a staff how much they've helped him improve and what he does. I mean, he handles the ball a lot for them. They're going to use him well in ball screens. They do a lot of different things to get him at different spots on the floor where he can be effective. He'll get in there and he'll, he got us in foul trouble where we were not disciplined enough to stay down. Then he would get us when we left our feet, spraying the ball around, people coming over to help too much sometimes. And the reason that Olivier was there because of what he did in practice. And what was disappointing is what he had done in practice is exactly what he didn't do today. I mean, he was rebounding the ball. He was doing all that. And he earned it. He earned it. I mean, he had outplayed those other guys during the week. And like I said, Urosh had gotten hurt, missed a day. But that's why we put him there because we felt like he earned it through practice. And then I'm disappointed that he didn't carry it over because he's a guy that we think can help us a lot. But he's going to have to do it when the lights come on.
Ryan Shumpert and Gentry Estes.
Held Vanderbilt to just 5 of 24 shooting from three-point line, as much as they like to do that. And I guess with some of the struggles y'all had there against Alabama and Arkansas, how would you assess the defending of the three-point line?
Well, again, I thought we were Vanderbilt's a very difficult team to get ready for because they they really work hard and I think do a really terrific job at the point of impact on the ball screen. But then they really attack your help defense, your gap defense, your tags, where they will, screen in from the backside. And it puts a lot of pressure on you because if you don't handle the point of attack at the ball, they're going to get you. And because there were so many options for them to get down the court and what they do, screening the backside of your defense. But we've worked hard on it. Well, the one thing we did do coming back after we didn't get to play, we spent 2 days really working hard on ball screen defense. We felt like we needed that. We wish Falky would have been out there to be a part of that. But we had worked hard for 2 days trying to get better with it. That would help us guard the three-point line by how we guarded the ball.
Yeah, Rick, you've been awfully complimentary of the job Coach Stackhouse is doing at Vanderbilt. Now, other coaches in the league have too. I'm curious why you think the results haven't quite matched up with that yet for him at Vanderbilt.
Well, I think if you look at it, they've had to deal with COVID issues probably as much as anybody. I don't even know if they were able to get back in the summer. I don't know what it was. I think I don't know that. But I can only tell you this: that Jerry is a terrific coach. He is a terrific player, and honestly, I brag about a play that he did one time when he was at Carolina, one of the greatest plays I've seen in college basketball. And now you watch his career, what he's done as a player, then as a coach. I mean, he can coach, and you can tell that he's building that organization the way he wants it. There's no doubt about that. I think he gets as much out of his players as anybody that I've ever coached against. And I think they're only going to get better. And this is a really tough league. I mean, I go back and when I'm watching tape, it's such a fine line. And, but he's again. I don't know if we all know whatever goes on in everybody's program with the coach. I think that we were supposed to play on Tuesday night. I don't think they were able to get back on the floor until I think Thursday, and with a one-day prep, I think it's difficult. I do, but everybody's going to have to deal with issues like that. I mean, we had to do it a different way. We're trying to keep ourselves in rhythm, and sometimes you maybe do a little bit too much that way. But there's no doubt that he could coach basketball at any level, anywhere, anytime, any place.
Gustavo and then Ben McKee.
Coach, how do you see the effectiveness of Keon Johnson offensively? He played 21 minutes. They got 16 points, the highest score of Tennessee. How do you see him being so effective offensively tonight?
Well, I mean, I think he was really good, but sometimes I'm probably unrealistic in my expectations of all these guys because I've been around them. I know how hard they work. Those the young guys are young guys, but he like we put him in the middle when they were pressing. We put him in the middle. We want to see him because we think he can go and he's a playmaker, but he's got to learn to make the right decisions. And that's part of it, just defensively. Like I took him out twice tonight because he went for steals and gave him baskets where he's trying to make a spectacular play to get out and go dunk the ball. He doesn't need – that'll just happen. And that goes back – that's just discipline. And that's part of our job as a staff to continue to teach him that part of the game. And he works hard. And Jaden, the same thing. I can say the same thing about Jaden. I mean, defensively, his discipline. I mean, he does – both of them do a terrific job. And then they get tired a little bit. They start going back to leaving their feet, fouling, those kind of deals that we can't have. But they're young, and we've played 11 games now. And normally by now we would have played probably another 7-8 games, which would make a huge difference. But that's not where it is. But we're happy with those guys. But from my point of view and our coaching staff point of view, we got high expectations, and we want more out of it.
I apologize for losing connection earlier. Coach, I was also going to ask you about Keon. Just what do you think of his defense on Pippen there late in the first half? And do you feel like Keon is starting to play without thinking more?
Well, whoever said he was thinking, I'm just kidding. You know what? With Keon, he is again, he can guard. Jaden, but it's hard for me to talk about one without the other because both of those guys, they really have a great knack to guard the ball. They do. I think that they have to continue to think. Again, I don't think anybody can play this game if they don't think. And so I would say to you, we want him to think more. Just like he did a great job at the start of the game. He had some great possessions, and then the start of the second half, not so much. And that's where he's got to continue to understand momentum. And the things that we talked about at halftime is exactly what they came out and did. And he was in a situation where whether he was slow getting started out of the gates, we had a mix-up real early. Then he goes for a steal and fouls and gives them baskets there. So I don't think you can play this game if you don't think. I don't want guys to be out there where they're and when I'm talking about thinking, I'm talking about just executing what we're supposed to execute. I don't want them thinking of things that aren't that important. And where I would say where he's not thinking is when he's trying to go for steals. And again, we want him to pick his spots there. But up to this point, he's picked the wrong times to do it. And he's given up baskets there. But that will come with playing time. It's going to come with experience, realizing that he's playing against better players than he's ever played against. And they can burn you if you make little mistakes. They can make you. Santi made one of those tonight where he totally left his man wide open, a good shooter. He thought the guy was going to spin back. It didn't matter if he spun back. We had it guarded. Those are the kind of plays as a team we've got to get better defensively. And but Keon and Jaden, both of them, they can guard the ball. We just got to get more consistency out of them.
Last question for Coach goes to Madison Blevins.
Hey, Coach, you talk a lot about how important it was guarding the ball screens in tonight's game. A few times tonight, the guards switched on the screens, forcing many turnovers. You had 16 turnovers tonight, 20 points off those turnovers. So what was the preparation like this week guarding Vanderbilt and preparing for a team that plays so many sets with so many on and off the ball screens?
Well, one, got to give a lot of credit to the coaching staff for the prep, and I think the respect that we have for them guarding the ball. I think they do a terrific job. And I go back, I think that Coach Stackhouse teaches the ball screen. I think there's a lot of teams in college that run ball screen, but they don't utilize it the way that you really can at some point. They're looking to hit you with it hard, and which was good for us to get prepared for because we're getting ready to play teams that are even, screen it more with more different guys. They normally use Scottie Pippen in the ball screen, and he's really good at knowing what to do. If you get out too far, he'll split it. He gives you a lot of different looks. And like I said, Coach Stackhouse moves him around a lot, runs him off a lot of triples, double screens to get him where he wants to get him. But not only is it important at the point of impact, it's those guys getting in those early tags, those high tags, low tags, and then being able to know we got to get out to guard three-point shooters, knowing that you're going to get hit sometimes. How we're going to – the talking part of it is important, the communication. And we worked hard a couple of days on that, really working hard on just guarding, a lot of motion in the ball screens. We actually had done it getting ready for the game on Tuesday. And so from a standpoint of practicing something that we probably needed a lot of work on, we had a week to do it.
Thank you, Coach. And I just want to tell you, how extraordinary you look in that orange tie.
You guys like this orange? I feel like a baseball player, like I'm supposed to be giving out signals. Thank you, Tom.